Hello again. This is another short introduction to what we do for literature in our class. So for the next 8 weeks, your literature program will consist of two things. First is finishing Charlotte's Web, another really relaxing and compelling read. We've got about a fourth to a third of the way through the book already. So on your lesson plans, there will be a note that says CW page blank. CW stands for Charlotte's Web. So whatever the page numbers I recommended, that's what I would have you read for that day. And then SG always stands for Study Guide. So here's your Charlotte's Web study guide. I think it will look slightly different for the student editions, but your student will fill out the page numbers that I've also marked out on each day's lesson plan. But I just wanted to go through this quickly and kind of show you how we use the study guide. So let me give you an example here. So the first thing I would do to use your study guide is to go through the vocabulary section together, and I recommend doing this before you read the chapter, so that when these big words come up in the reading, we know them ahead of time, we know to look for them. So here's the vocabulary section. Here. Sorry for that it's backwards, but you define the bolded word together, and then once you finish your vocabulary, then that's when I would read the chapter. And when you read, as much as possible, please read aloud. The page numbers will not take them very much time if they read individually, and depending on your day's schedule, that's okay. If they need to just kind of read on their own time, that's totally fine. But it will take up more time, and it is better practice if they can read the page numbers aloud, or if you can read aloud with them. That's a great practice to have. So after you've done the vocabulary words, you've read the chapter, then I would do the comprehension questions. My only word of advice here is that answers are interpretive, so not everyone will have the same answer, and that's okay. But I would encourage your students to always answer these questions in complete sentences. That's the big one. They will want to answer in 2 or 3 word phrases and just fly through it. But this is also practice in composition and forming complete sentences. So please encourage them to do that, and please help them write complete sentences. So for each chapter, the most important parts of our study guide are the vocabulary and the comprehension questions. If you have more time and you want to do the quotations, the discussion questions, and the enrichment activities, you're certainly welcome. Unfortunately, for a lot of our class time, we didn't have the ability to do that. But I like these activities because they make the story come alive a little bit more to the kids, and they're more open-ended. It's a great way to facilitate a conversation between you and your child about what you're reading and why you might be reading that, what you might be able to gain from the story. So that's how literature works. We study vocab first, read the chapter, answer the comprehension questions, and then if time allows, we would talk about the quotation, the discussion questions, and then do a short enrichment activity together.